We are getting so close. This is exciting. All right, so this is the 41st president, George H.W. Bush. The 41st president from 1989 to 1993. A Republican Texan oil man with northern origins. Led an international coalition in 1991 during the Gulf War. A diplomat who kept on good terms with Russia and China. My star qualities were decency and fairness, as well as having an impressive political resume. I was a wealthy man, an oil industry tycoon. I gave the office all I had, but for some, it just wasn't enough. The world was changing shape with the Soviet Union crumbling, and I was pretty glad not to intervene. Meanwhile, the United States had its first run-in with the Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein, who'd invaded his Persian Gulf neighbor Kuwait in 1990. Before sending in our forces, I was careful to build an international posse, which is like a group. We liberated Kuwait and sent Saddam's men packing, little knowing that we'd face them again in years to come. Back home, the respect I'd won over Iraq was lost by tax hikes that I'd promised to avoid. I didn't win a second term. He was the first president to visit Singapore, the last president to have fought in World War II. He flew 58 combat missions. Wow. And this president threw up while dining with the Prime Minister of Japan. I was pretty young. I was like your age when George W. Bush was president, H.W. Bush was president. But like, I weirdly remember that. Poor guy. That's all people remember him for? Come on. Anyway, all right, so that's the first George Bush. All right, here's Bill Clinton, the 42nd president from 1993 to 2001. The first Democrat to serve 2 full terms since FDR. That's a long time. A people person who played peacemaker on the world stage. The second U.S. president to be impeached. Smooth-jawed and as sultry as my sax playing, I was a wily fox with an instinct for playing a situation. A political dynamo, I brought a new vision to the United States. My running mate, Al Gore, and I took a hotshot team to the White House. Fueled on adrenaline and pulling crazy all-nighters, we brought the good times back to America. The economy boomed, and reforms reflected our caring attitude toward those in greater need. My wife, Hillary, and I made a powerhouse duo. She even got an office in the West Wing. I did so much for the country, but ruined my image with my way with the ladies. Seedy scandals surfaced, and I was accused of lying about one of them under oath. I was impeached, And although I was acquitted, my reputation paid a price. So he was the first president to have been born after World War II, the last president to have shaken JFK's hand, and the only president whose wife became a U.S. Senator and Secretary of State. And she almost became president herself, right? She won the popular vote in 2016. All right, and now we are at George W. Bush, the 43rd president from 2001 to 2009, an easygoing and likable Republican. W set up the Department of Homeland Security, declared war on terror, and invaded Afghanistan and Iraq. I won the election against Al Gore by a whisker. It took more than a month to declare a winner. And it was just like how I said Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. Al Gore also won the popular vote. But that was a big deal when no one knew who the president was going to be. People laughed at my unique turn of phrase, but I said, just don't misunderestimate me. The events of 9/11, the worst ever terrorist attacks on the United States, defined my presidency. I led a war on terror overseas, chasing Al-Qaeda culprits in Afghanistan, and at home, signing the Patriot Act, which allowed law enforcement officers to track, interrogate, and detain any citizen suspected of terrorism. Like my father before me, I set my sights on Saddam Hussein and invaded Iraq. As commander-in-chief, I saw it as a case of good versus evil. I delivered tax cuts and sent aid following Hurricane Katrina in 2005, but some said it wasn't enough. He was the first president to be granted a state visit to the United Kingdom, the last president whose father had also been president, and the only president to own a baseball team, part owner of the Texas Rangers. All right. We only got 2 more. Oh my gosh. All right. It's exciting. See you soon.